Imagine you're sitting comfortably on a flight, 35,000 feet above the ground. Everything seems perfectly calm when suddenly you hear a change in the engine noise. One of them has stopped working. Sounds terrifying, right? But here's the surprising truth. Engine failure at high altitude is something pilots train for constantly, and modern airplanes are specifically built to handle it safely. In this video, we're going to break down what engine failure really means, why it happens, how pilots react, and most importantly, why passengers are usually never in any real danger. So, what exactly is engine failure? It's when an aircraft engine stops producing thrust or loses power unexpectedly. This doesn't mean the engine explodes or the plane immediately starts falling from the sky. At high altitude, it usually just means a loss of thrust, reduced power, or an automatic engine shutdown. Commercial jets are masterfully designed so that if one engine fails, the aircraft can still fly perfectly safely. But why do engine failures even happen? Well, they are extremely rare, but possible. The most common causes are mechanical issues like simple wear and tear or component failure. Other times, it could be fuel problems like contamination. And of course, there are external factors like bird strikes, especially during takeoff or landing, or even volcanic ash at cruising altitude, which can choke an engine. But despite these risks, remember that jet engines are among the most rigorously tested and reliable machines on Earth. What happens the moment an engine fails? Instantly, warning alarms activate in the cockpit. Flight computers automatically adjust the plane's performance, and the remaining engine increases its power to compensate. The aircraft remains completely stable. In fact, passengers, especially at cruising altitude, often don't even notice anything happen beyond a slight change in the engine's hum. This brings us to the big question: can a plane really fly with just one engine? Yes, absolutely. All commercial jets are certified to fly on a single engine. Twin-engine planes, which are the most common today, can easily climb, cruise, and land safely with one engine out of commission. Pilots practice one-engine flying in advanced simulators every few months. In fact, a plane at high altitude has so much forward momentum that it can glide for hundreds of kilometers, even with no engines at all. When an engine fails, pilots don't panic. They follow strict, pre-planned procedures called checklists. First, they identify the failed engine, then they secure and shut it down safely. Next, they adjust their altitude and speed, and communicate the situation to air traffic control. They then decide whether to continue to their destination or divert to a closer airport. Everything is done calmly, step by step. Meanwhile, air traffic control clears the airspace around the aircraft and gives them priority for landing, guiding them to the nearest suitable airport. The entire aviation system works together seamlessly to ensure safety. We've seen this in famous real-life incidents. Remember US Airways Flight 1549, the miracle on the Hudson? Both engines failed after hitting a flock of birds, yet the pilots safely landed the plane on the water, and everyone survived. Or British Airways Flight 9, which flew through a cloud of volcanic ash, causing all four engines to fail. The pilots managed to restart the engines and land safely. These incredible stories prove how expert training and brilliant engineering save lives. So, is a high-altitude engine failure dangerous? Well, the thought is scary. Statistically, it's not. Engine failures are extremely rare, and fatal accidents because of them are even rarer. The vast majority of these incidents end with a completely safe landing. Flying remains one of the safest forms of travel, far safer than driving a car. And why don't planes just fall from the sky? It's all about physics. Planes stay in the air because of the lift generated by their wings and their forward momentum. Even without any engine power, a plane doesn't just drop. It becomes a very efficient glider. The pilots are still in full control. For passengers, the experience might involve a slight change in engine sound, maybe some minor turbulence, and perhaps a longer flight path if the plane diverts. The cabin crew are trained to remain calm and professional, which helps keep everyone on board relaxed. Airlines work tirelessly to prevent these failures from ever happening. They follow strict, regular maintenance schedules, perform engine inspections after every few flights, and use advanced sensors to monitor engine health in real time. Engines are often repaired or replaced long before any potential issue could become a problem. In the end, engine failure at high altitude might sound like a nightmare, but in reality, it's a well-managed and highly controlled situation. Thanks to advanced aircraft design, rigorous pilot training, and strict safety regulations, millions of flights land safely every single year, even when the unexpected happens. So the next time you fly, take a deep breath and relax. The sky is much safer than you think. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights into the world of aviation.